Happy Friday.
We made it.
Right? The last Friday in February, so Monday is March 1st. Whew, the year's flying by, isn't it?
I know.
And remember, Monday, March 1st, Mr. Harrison will be here with you. Okay? Until after spring break. Yep, 15 days. I'll be back, I think it's March 29th. Okay? So I want to go over something before you take the reading test. And that is the March book report. And you'll see it's already open in Schoology. Okay, the February book report is due today. If you haven't submitted that yet, make sure you get that done. Okay, I graded a few that were already turned in, and I think made some comments. So if you want to go back and add to it, then I can see and regrade those. Okay. For the March book report, I'm requiring one book.
Let's go.
Okay. That one book has some requirements. I'm back to eliminating some of the books we typically read because I want you to find new books, expand your horizon. Okay? So the I Survive books, the Diary of a Wimpy Kid or Dork Diaries book, any comic style written book, okay, those are not going to be accepted. The I Survive books I included because a lot of you have already read quite a few of those. I want you to find something different. Okay? So think of the Where the Red Fern Grows book. Okay? Most of you enjoyed that book, I think. Okay, that one you can't use for this book report, but find something similar. There's a lot of books out there that you may not be familiar with that would be good ones to read.
I don't have enough stamina
Okay.
to read a big book.
Well, I'm giving you the entire month. Okay, one book. That's all you have to do to read to submit the book report. Okay,
And we can read over break.
you could read over break because it's not due until after spring break. Okay, so notice here the book should have, I said, at least 10 chapters. Don't find one that has 5 little short tiny chapters. Okay, something a little more, and I'm not talking Harry Potter books either. Those are
No, I hate
excessively long, and that will
I've
take you
never
all month,
read
if not
those.
longer. Okay, so Where the Red Fern Grows book was 20, right? 22
Yeah.
chapters.
20.
Okay, and the chapters were a decent length. So think of something like that. Look through the books, see what there's available, okay? And find a good one that you'd be interested in. And then down here it's just called it's calling it the note PDF. It's the worksheet. It wouldn't let me change the title, so I quit trying. But when you open this up, here is the book review. It's 2 pages. It's lengthier than the ones we've done, okay, because I'm only requiring one book. All right, so you're going to do both sides. There's this one and then there's this page. Okay, and it gives you information in case you don't know what some of these words might be. They're words that we haven't used. So it says protagonist. Well, that's the good guy or the hero in the book. Okay, more than likely that's going to be your main character. Okay, down here it says antagonist. Well, that's the bad guy or the villain, the person that's causing issues for this person.
The Joker.
Okay, so you're looking for a book that would have a good guy and a bad guy. Okay, down here it says why are they the antagonist, the protagonist. You're looking for initial action, what happens in the beginning of the book. So we're getting into plot. Okay, the conflict, what's the problem? And then it talks about an internal or external conflict. It gives you ideas of what that is. Okay. The climax, the most exciting, action-packed part of the story. Okay. Then you have the resolution. So what's the outcome? Foreshadowing is hints that it might give you. What's going to happen next in the story? What's going to happen after the story? Okay, when it ends. Tell me what you think might happen there. Theme we've talked about, and then you're going to evaluate the book, kind of your own thoughts. Should somebody else read it? Did you enjoy it? You hated it? Okay. So that's kind of your opinion down here. The rest of it goes with the book. So 2 pages, 1 book, and it's due March 29th. Okay. So that is your March book report. I would prefer it an actual book and not something from Epic, but I get there are some good books on Epic. I understand
there
that.
is some.
Okay, but if you're having a hard time finding one, because I want you to actually read it. I don't want you just to listen to it the whole time. Okay? So keep that in mind. See if you can find a good book from the library here or a public library, a book you have at home that you've been meaning to read. Okay?
And we have this app on the books app.
That's right, and Mrs. K has books in her Schoology course too
Yeah.
listed that you could use. So there might be some good ones in there you want to check out and see what you can read, okay? Let me go back here. So there are those directions. Like I said, that's already open and ready to go. So if you finished February, you can get started on the March one. Get a head start on it, okay? Questions on the book report. Eli?
Does it have to be a fiction book?
No.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
fiction,
Oh.
okay?
Fiction real.
Some, it's realistic fiction. It could be realistic fiction, which would
Yeah.
be Redfern. Redfern was realistic
Yeah,
fiction.
that's all.
Okay, so it's a story that could have happened, but it was made up. Okay. Riker?
Did you do Dogman? Because those are like
No.
20 chapters.
Aren't those the comic style written book? I couldn't think of all of them, so no. Dogman is no. Eli?
What about those, it was in Mrs. K's thing, my weird school books, I think.
Oh, those might be okay. You'd have to show me. If you're not sure, send me a picture of the title of the book and I'll look and see. Okay, if you're not sure if it would be one that would work, just keep in mind, think of Where the Red Fern Grows. Okay, did we have pictures in that book?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Not really. Maybe at the very beginning of the chapter, tiny pictures, but it was not full page pictures. Okay, there will be barely, if any, pictures in this book that you're going to pick. That's why those comic style written books like Diary of a Wimpy Kid are not going to work. Okay, I'm looking for something a little more involved for reading this time. Okay, Brendan?
I don't think I've looked at this book before, but is Captain Underpants like a comic book?
Yeah.
I think those are, yep.
I know, a little,
Yeah, they're
Yep.
definitely comic
Okay, so you're wanting to find a book too more at a 5th grade level. I'm not looking for you to be reading those books like that because they're generally a lower level and they're pretty quick to get through. You've got a lot of time to do one book. That's why I want you to pick something outside of the books that you typically choose. One book, okay? One book report, one book, and these are the requirements. Maya? Yes, Percy Jackson would be good. Somebody else was reading those as well. Okay?
Who is that?
All right, if you have questions or you're not sure about a book, then you need to message me and let me know, and we'll go from there. Okay, today you have a reading test over Can't You Make Them Behave, King George. You can use the textbook. The reading textbook will be available for reading today, and that's it for reading. The test, make sure you get the February book report done. That's due today. Okay?